Well, too often, men and women suffering from mental illness have found themselves face to face with police. And here in Detroit, recent examples have proven those encounters can turn deadly. Well, tonight, 7 investigator Ross Jones takes a closer look at a first of its kind program aimed at fixing a broken mental health system.
On November 2nd, Michael Moza was in crisis. The 30-year-old suffered from paranoid schizophrenia for a decade, and on this day, he checked himself into the crisis center at Detroit Receiving Hospital.
He's a paranoid schizophrenic, knowing that he was off his medication, and he's literally begging for help.
But the same day he was admitted, Michael was released. The next morning, he would suffer a breakdown, turning a gun on Detroit police before being gunned down himself.
It makes absolutely no sense. Absolutely no sense. And this could have been prevented had they have kept him. He was killed with his hospital band still on.
Imagine if we could fix this, the impact it would have to public service.
Detroit police have watched scenes like this play out far too often. And earlier this year, it started a pilot program inside the 9th Precinct and in downtown Detroit, a partnership between law enforcement and mental health professionals in the hopes of filling the gaps that people like Michael Moza keep falling through.
I've never met an officer who said to me, "Oh, I just love to draw my gun." No, if an officer does not have to do that, he or she will take that route any and every day.
Eric Doa leads the Detroit Wayne Integrated Health Network, one of the tenets of the pilot program, taking mental health clinicians from his health network and putting them inside Detroit's 911 call center.
We wanted to be able to deal on that front where it was connecting people to services rather than, having folks come into contact with law enforcement.
Denitra Burns is one of the clinicians now stationed inside the city's call center.
They get over 200 to 300 calls within a week that's mental health related.
Now, mental health clinicians are training a small number of officers in how to respond to calls involving the mentally ill. For calls that are an emergency, DPD dispatches 2 officers and a mental health clinician in the same vehicle.
Jointly, they determine whether or not that person, whatever the need is. Sometimes it's a transport to an evaluation center. Sometimes it might be a transport to a hospital, a range of things.
While many of the calls require emergency response, many more do not. Some mental health consumers flood 911 with calls that don't need police but do require treatment. Last year, one man alone was responsible for 4,000 calls to 911.
So a lot of people call you because they can't get anybody else to listen.
Yes.
But they know 911 is always there.
Exactly. You're right. It's a safe place, right?
Now, clinical specialists like Denitra connect those needing services with mental health providers. But she's not just reacting. When she isn't receiving calls, Denitra is making them, proactively reaching out to mental health consumers who have called 911 in the past.
We call those individuals back just to learn more about why they called 911, just to see if they need additional services support.
Is it kind of like you're checking in on them?
Yep, follow-up.
That means you have a case manager who's checking in with you. You have a clinical team who's checking in with you. If I connect someone to a provider, we are in this as a team. It is a tripod relationship that we've now established.
It's only month 3 of this 3-year-long pilot program, but it's already having an impact. So far, officers and mental health clinicians have responded to nearly 400 911 calls. Call center clinicians have connected 40 callers to mental health services, and they hope with each call they're reaching people that weren't being helped before. People like Michael Moza.
Believe me, I'm not saying that these are numbers that are sort of breaking rooftops here, but these are lives, and it matters to me that we're connecting, people to services. We are also helping police officers in how they deal with this population.
This month, the pilot launched its homeless outreach program, connecting those who don't live in shelters with mental health services, and for those who qualify, options for permanent housing. We're in Detroit tonight. I'm Ross Jones, 7 Action News.